Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video here on the channel. So hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. Now, for those who aren't aware, alright, it's my birthday, not gonna lie. I finally turned 18, so I'm officially not a minor. I'm not a kid anymore. Feels good, man. The main reason why I'm excited is because I can finally get that Creator's Faction portrait that I've been waiting for literally 4 years for. At least waiting to get into the Creator's Faction. So I'm really excited about that. Fingers crossed they'll actually accept me. I mean, at this point, if they don't accept me, I'll be a little bit gutted, all right? But, you know, it is what it is. I appreciate all the happy birthdays that I've received thus far. And yeah, it's kind of a big deal for me. Finally not being a kid, I guess. So yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and get on to the topic of this video, which is going over the top 4 tiers in the game. Now, hopefully, for those, even if you're, maybe not in these tiers, you can still benefit from this video, which by letting these ideas or these suggestions help you choose which breeding path to use. So we're going to kind of, run through these, not really going to go into too much detail. You'll have to trust my judgment, but I'm going to be going over the top dragons in every single one of these tiers, including the top mythics, because that in particular will really help you decide which path you want to go for. So let's get right into it. Vanguard tier, the main big dragons. What in the world's going on with Ani? That's a little weird. Okay. The main dragons for the legendaries is Jotun and Redrian. Now, Altamorak, really the only use that I personally had for him was him literally being autopilot dragon. You just hit his spawn and it'll like fly through the base and cake out everything, and you never actually have to swipe. It's awesome. But out of actual usability, Redrian and Jotun are probably the best 2 dragons, because Redrian is really nice for cleaning up bases because of his galvanic overload as well as his flash. If there's stuff that is already sanded, like if the red mage and blue mage is sanded, this guy is solid. Now, the unfortunate thing about this guy is, unfortunately, galvanic overload cannot one-shot maxed out towers these days. That does have a cap on the damage that it can do, and I think like it's around level 85 where he can't one-shot towers depending on gear. So, unfortunately, he's not as usable as he once was, but still, not a bad dragon. Jotun is really just a tank. He was actually, I believe, the very first dragon to come out with elemental resist. So he was awesome back in the day. You have a really high damage dealing increase, as well as the storm shield, which decreases a ton of damage, as well as a way to gain rage. Now, this is one of the few tiers that every single mythic dragon is unbelievably good. Honestly, one of the only tiers. It's awesome. But out of the 3, I would have to say Itzani was definitely my favorite. Honestly, I think he's probably my favorite all-time dragon besides maybe Lucian. He was amazing, and he still is. He still is. I think for most people, though, Ani is going to be the best dragon. Unless you are a very good hunter flyer, I think Ani may be better used and more effective than Itzani. But in the middle, you got Jormungandr. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. It's a very long freaking dragon. Not only just a long name, but literally the dragon is like 50 feet long. It's hilarious, not gonna lie. This guy, you have a white spell that one-shots towers. You have this freeze that is unbelievably strong. It increases the damage that your dragon does to all the surrounding towers. It literally is an overpowered spell. I mean, it's awesome. So if there's not a double red mage, right, and it's a single island kill, even a double island kill, awesome dragon to fly. Very solid. I used him for quite a while along with Itzani. Now, moving on to Empyrean. Now, really none of the legendaries besides Capulos were useful. And again, just like Altamorak, the only reason why Capulos was nice was because of this spell right here, Summon Puppet. Literally just a autopilot. You hit start on your invader base, this dragon just runs through it. It's awesome. But as far as actual usability, the closest thing you have is maybe Tuck2. But even then, your divines are way better. All right. So unfortunately, kind of a letdown. Now with the mythics, we get a little bit better. All right. Lucian is definitely the best dragon out of the 3. Seraph, the issue is that any sort of defender will screw this guy up really quickly. Divine Storm does not deal enough damage to a single tower in order to combat repairs. Repairs make this entire dragon obsolete. Now, he may be able to tank through it, right? The combination of his Celestial Shield and Sacrifice means you can continuously cycle through that shield, right? But you're actually not going to be able to kill any towers, unfortunately. Now, Archon, I know some people really like this dragon. I personally did not find a whole lot of use for him. You know, I definitely had a hard time killing this guy on my base back in the day before high-level towers came out. He's definitely a tank, don't get me wrong. This increase, this Revitalize, is like, it's ridiculous, man. His Adaptive Breath, where you're basically cycling through a damage increase, a freeze, and then a heal. You know, you just want to get to that damage increasing spell and the freezing spell. The healing spell, like, it just gives you a little bit of HP whenever you kill a tower. It really doesn't do a whole lot, to be quite honest with you. But definitely not a bad dragon. I'd say the second best out of the three. Seraph is kind of nice, again, just for invader runs, in my opinion at least. Because that lightning just kills all the bunch, you know, just every single tower immediately. So there's really not a whole lot of tapping. So, you know, again, if you want a nice little invader run dragon, he's all right. But not insane. Then we got Abyssal. All right, now, Biggle, or Bigil, I don't know how you pronounce this guy. He's an interesting dragon. Against level 100s, definitely not very effective. But this spell right here, man, triggers me. All right, the white spell. And it's not letting me click on it. But basically, it increases the amount of damage that towers can take. All right, when level 90s were the top tower, even level 95s, I had this guy hit that spell like 3 times. And I believe that spell actually does stack. All right. He hit this spell 3 times. My towers literally got one shot by the next dragon. All right, and I was fuming. Okay, so honestly, I'd say this guy isn't too bad. Not gonna lie. Marlis, he's really nice again for invader runs and honestly for guard hits. The reason why guard hits is because of this spell right here, Ferocious Drive. Besides UVS, this guy is definitely the fastest in the game. You can just continuously hit Ferocious Drive over and over and over again to like speed you up. Now, the issue with this guy is the Ferocious Drive, you can't, like, go back. So that's why he's not actually very viable against real bases. Because the only cloaking mechanism that this guy has, even though he technically does have sand, is this spell. But unfortunately, it's not like you can cloak out of, you know, a mage shot and then uncloak and hit other towers. You just speed right by them. So you end up leaving, you know, all these towers behind you, which against real bases isn't actually usable. So again, he's kind of stuck to invader runs and like Castle Guard. Yeah, Castle Guards, yeah. Oculex, honestly, wasn't very impressed with this guy. On paper, very strong. Unfortunately, though, the Lightning Surge, you just have the randomness element on Hunters, you just can't really control. Well, obviously, you know, random control, not really synonyms, but it's not effective on Hunters. He's not a bad dragon. I know some people found him really good whenever level 90 towers were the highest in the game, but with level 100s defended, yeah, it ain't gonna cut it. Orthoraptor, not a bad dragon. I actually really love this guy. He was a very fun dragon to fly. I think he's still usable for sure. In fact, I'd probably say he's the most usable legendary hunter, or not legendary hunter, legendary dragon out of the dragons that you have in this tier. Okay, out of the mythics, definitely Medusa, Cerberath, and Ladron. Honestly, neither of them have impressed me whatsoever. Medusa's even, I saw Jeff, and he actually wiped my base with it. Not level 1, whenever I had level 100s, but whenever I had like level 93s, I think. He wiped it, like double defended. So, again, a lot of these hunters, their usability and viability is dependent on your ability to fly them, right? So it's kind of like up in the air, but I'd say out of the 3, he's your best option. Cerberath is really good for like a perch, right? That's the only reason why I personally will be going for him. And the Ladron, honestly, he's a very weird dragon. I never really got into the guy. I thought he would be really cool. He is kind of like a mix of a sorcerer and a hunter, because you have this disables towers until they take damage. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh, you know, like, maybe this guy might be usable, but he just never really made the cut. Okay, on to Eldritch. Now, the best dragon, I'd say, is Karis. The poison spell on this guy, I was honestly very, very surprised. I saw one of these dragons hit me, a max one, and I guess he had a really good gear or something. But that Envenom, like, just drained my towers. It was crazy. So I would say that this guy is not a bad dragon. Definitely against offended level 100s as a dragon starting off, right? Not as a follow-up dragon. And I'll explain why I say not as the first dragon, but he actually may be viable as a secondary. And the reason behind that is because if you have the blue mage sanded or destroyed, you can sit back and use Envenom on towers and use flash. And if you can do that, he's honestly, he can do work. He was actually able to finish me as like the 4th dragon in an attack, and like the first 3 dragons got like 15%. But he was able to finish because he was able to take up the blue mage and like 2 of my lightnings or something. So, not the worst dragon in the world. The rest of them, Annelid, the first invoker, such a disappointment. Again, the randomness of his invoker spell, lightning, a lot of damage, but random. And his lightning spell, Lightning Storm, does not deal enough damage quick enough in order to combat repairs. So again, just another dragon that has a lightning spell that's completely obsolete. I don't understand why PG doesn't realize this, but again, you got an invader dragon. So yeah, we're waiting on the spells for the upcoming mythics, and whenever I know that, I will let you guys know. By the way, the rest of the dragons, Yetin is probably the best out of the final 3. Kaldor, Glossia, trash. Vexa, trash. I mean, again, a lot of these dragons are not really going to be viable. They're more or less just to breed, right? And get your actual good divines up. I mean, get these guys to breedable, then bench them, you know? Unfortunately, you know, you spend 500,000 egg tokens on a freaking useless dragon. Good job, PG. Well, I hope these helped you guys out at least a little bit. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, y'all.